moments, joining the conversation, and still felt strangely alone? It can happen at a party, during a family gathering, at work, or even while spending time with your closest friends. From the outside, everything looks normal. You're surrounded by people who know your name and enjoy your company. Yet, internally, something feels disconnected, as though you're watching the experience instead of truly being part of it. This feeling is more common than many people realize. Loneliness isn't simply the absence of people. Psychologists define loneliness as the gap between the relationships we have and the relationships we wish we had. In other words, it's about perceived connection rather than physical proximity. Someone living alone can feel deeply connected, while someone surrounded by friends may still experience profound loneliness. One reason this happens is that humans don't just seek interaction, they seek understanding. Casual conversations about work, entertainment, or daily routines help maintain social bonds, but they don't always satisfy our deeper need to feel seen. When we repeatedly hide our worries, fears, or authentic thoughts because we think others won't understand or accept them, our relationships may become wide but shallow. We have many interactions, yet few moments of genuine emotional connection. Psychological research has consistently shown that emotional intimacy predicts well-being more strongly than simply having a large social network. Feeling understood activates a sense of psychological safety. When that safety is missing, the brain may continue interpreting the environment as socially uncertain, even if many friendly faces are present. Another factor is self-disclosure. Healthy relationships gradually deepen through reciprocal sharing. This doesn't mean revealing every secret immediately. Instead, closeness develops as people slowly exchange personal experiences, vulnerabilities, and emotions. If one person always stays on the surface, conversations remain pleasant but emotionally distant. Ironically, the fear of being judged often prevents the very openness that creates genuine belonging. Social comparison also plays an important role. In group settings, it's easy to assume everyone else feels more connected, happier, or more confident than we do. This is partly because we compare our internal experiences to everyone else's external behavior. We notice our own doubts while seeing only the polished version of others. This mental shortcut, sometimes called the illusion of transparency, can make us believe we're the only ones struggling, even though several people in the room may be experiencing similar feelings. Modern technology adds another layer to this experience. Social media allows us to stay informed about countless people, but information isn't the same as connection. Seeing photos, updates, and stories creates a sense of familiarity without necessarily providing emotional closeness. Researchers often distinguish between passive social consumption and active communication. Actively talking, listening, and sharing experiences generally strengthens relationships, while endlessly scrolling through updates may increase feelings of isolation by encouraging comparison rather than conversation. Attachment theory offers another perspective. Early relationships with caregivers influence how people experience closeness later in life. Someone with an anxious attachment style may constantly worry about rejection, interpreting small changes in others' behavior as signs they are being excluded. Someone with an avoidant attachment style may value independence so strongly that they unconsciously keep emotional distance, even from trusted friends. Neither pattern means a person is destined to feel lonely forever, but understanding these tendencies can explain why loneliness sometimes persists despite having supportive people nearby. The brain itself also contributes to this experience. Humans evolved as highly social beings because belonging increased survival. As a result, the brain is remarkably sensitive to signs of exclusion. Neuroscience research suggests that social rejection activates some of the same brain regions involved in processing physical pain. This doesn't mean emotional pain and physical injury are identical, but it helps explain why loneliness feels so real and difficult to ignore. Our brains are designed to treat social disconnection as something important. Another overlooked cause is role-playing. Many people naturally adopt different versions of themselves depending on the situation. At work, they may appear confident. With family, they may become responsible. With friends, they may become the funny one who always lightens the mood. While adapting to different environments is perfectly normal, problems arise when these roles become masks that hide authentic emotions. If everyone knows your performance, but very few people know your genuine thoughts, loneliness can quietly grow beneath the surface. Quality also matters more than quantity. Studies consistently find that a few emotionally meaningful relationships provide greater psychological benefits than dozens of casual acquaintances. Deep conversations often strengthen trust because they communicate acceptance, empathy, and mutual understanding. Small moments, being listened to without interruption, having someone remember an important detail about your life, or feeling safe enough to express uncertainty often create stronger bonds than large social events. Interestingly, psychological research suggests that people often underestimate how much others appreciate meaningful conversations. Many assume deeper discussions will feel awkward, yet both participants frequently report enjoying them more than expected. This tendency means that opportunities for real connection may be closer than we imagine, hidden behind assumptions that everyone prefers to stay on the surface. Ultimately, loneliness isn't simply about being physically alone. It's about feeling emotionally disconnected from others, and sometimes from ourselves. Recognizing this distinction can change how we approach relationships. Rather than chasing more invitations, more followers, or more conversations, we can focus on creating interactions that involve curiosity, honesty, and mutual understanding. If you've ever felt lonely despite being surrounded by friends, you're experiencing something deeply human. It doesn't mean you're failing socially or that your friendships are meaningless. Often it reflects a universal need for genuine understanding, a need shared by nearly everyone, even if it's rarely spoken about openly. By recognizing the difference between being around people and feeling truly connected to them, we can begin to build relationships that offer not just company, but a lasting sense of belonging.